how this proceeds.
Right. Now, viewers, once again, let's tell you that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has set the tone for the Monsoon Session of Parliament. He's highlighted India's economic resilience and global uncertainty as well, referring to conflicts in West Asia and their impact on energy supplies. Prime Minister also said that India successfully navigated challenges related to fuel, fertilizers and essential commodities while maintaining a 7.7% growth rate, making it the world's faster growing major economy. Prime Minister Modi said the monsoon session begins at a time when the country has gathered momentum and Parliament will address fresh energy. It will add fresh energy to India's development journey. The Prime Minister also underscored the government's reform agenda, saying India's youth are benefiting from transformative reforms. He cited the commissioning of a major oil refinery in Rajasthan, the inauguration of the country's third semiconductor plant, and the launch of a green hydrogen powered train as examples of India's growing technological and industrial capabilities. He also congratulated scientists, engineers, innovators, entrepreneurs and workers for driving the progress of the nation. Now, Ms. Kalyani Shankar, I want to come to you on this. What do you make of the issues that the Prime Minister has taken note of? Also, how India has performed during this time of global energy crisis. We did see some raising of the petrol and diesel prices, but still much less compared to the rest of the countries of the world.
Well, you see, he has focused on the positive sides which the government has done, which he ought to. And it's also, after all, there's going to be elections in UP and other states. So he has to think of that also. Parliament is one place where he can tell the whole country what are the successful projects which the government has done and what they're planning to do also. These are the two things he can explain in this session. But monsoon session is very, very important. The indications now seems to be that it's going to be a very noisy session, and more often it will not function. Today itself, you can see the example, and opposition wants to show their annoyance by walking out of the parliament. That's not the way they should do. They should sit there, discuss it, debate it, and then make the point. But they are not willing to do that. That is one really problem. And another thing, it is the part of the government to run the business of the parliament. So it is for them to run that house runs properly. So for that, they have to be a little, show a little compromise, that give some and take some. It's somehow, that is how they will have to, manage the controversial issues. So for that, there is no sign of them doing, any backdoor talks or any of the issues for that matter. So that doesn't seem to be any way both the government and the opposition can find consensus for these issues. That's a very important thing. And unless they find some, opposition coming forward and the government yielding some space, I think the session is going to be very, very real washout. It will not run at all. And the issues which they have taken up will remain just issues.
Right, Rajlakshmi, how do you weigh in on Prime Minister's address today, his call also to the parliamentarians before the session?
Kriti, very firstly, what I understand is the Cockroach Janata Party has not really approached the police asking for permission for any kind of a rally or a protest going towards or a march going towards the parliament. And as you are aware that right now Delhi is a very high secure area, especially because of the parliament session. So you have section 144 of the IPC that now in place in Delhi. So that is why the police cannot actually allow anybody, whether it may be the Cockroach Janata Party or anybody else, to hold any marches or any protest without permission. So that is what has happened. And also, if those questions are raised in Parliament, then obviously they will be addressed. Now the way in which the opposition approaches these things is they want to choose when they want to raise these questions, and they also want to choose who is going to answer them. That is not how things have to happen. Like for example, when they raised the question of Operation Sindoor, they wanted specifically only PM Modi to address them and not Mr. Rajnath Singh, who was the defense minister. So that is not how things function. So, the government approaches things in a different way. That whoever is assigned those tasks, they take care of all of them themselves. And PM Modi also has he has a larger scheme of things. So, he has been approaching these things differently. He is also looking at the Gulf conflict, and he has spoken about that also. So, there are a lot of issues that have to be taken care of other than the issues that the opposition raises. So everybody needs to get enough time, and everybody needs to put them constructively, not in a way in which the entire session is washed out only because of some issues that the opposition is adamant upon raising at that particular time only. So, instead, like for example, now we are having this discussion. Instead of this, if I say that I find something related to the environment more concerning, or that I want to discuss Mr. Sonam Wangchuk's case, instead of this discussion about the parliament, then Kriti, your entire discussion will be washed out. So this is not how things function. So I think that the opposition should understand that people can watch and they can understand what is happening, and that it is quite obvious that they don't want these discussions to happen. And also about the Ram Mandir donation issue, the government was not party to any of the donations. They were not party to the construction. It was the Ram Mandir Trust, and they had approached the Ram Mandir Trust themselves, had approached the authorities seeking for an SIT, and this is how things have happened. So, there is complete transparency in the way in which the proceedings are going on, the investigations are going on, and if people are not really happy with it, then anytime we can always approach the courts. So that is how things have to happen. So the government is not really bound to answer these questions by themselves or to raise any of these issues by themselves, unless they are asked specific questions, and that too they have a very limited capacity in which they have to answer this. Other than the fact that yes, they are actually entitled to ask questions about every temple, not just the Ram Mandir. But yes, this is a very sensitive and a very emotional issue, and we are all concerned about it. But the Ram Mandir Trust themselves are looking into it. The UP government is looking into it. And of course, the central government also is making sure that all the investigations are happening. So, Kriti, I'm sure that all these issues will be addressed at the appropriate time and by the appropriate people, not by the people that the opposition chooses, and not at a time when the opposition demands that they be discussed. So the government has set an agenda, and I'm sure that they will allot time for every discussion to happen, provided the opposition allows a proper discussion and they allow the session to function, Kriti.
Right, stay on with me, Raj Lakshmi and all other panelists. Let's once again take a look at Prime Minister's address and some of the key takeaways from Modi's address ahead of the Parliament session. We're putting these out on our screens now. One key point that